What's going on, everyone? I hope you're doing well. Unfortunately, I ran out of week before I was able to get to my pay dirt. So we're doing a video of the job I've been doing next door since June, and I finally wrapped up. So thanks for watching. Well, my neighbors moved out, and the original owner of the house is moving back in. She's an elderly woman. Scumbags. There's Hurricane laying there. Scumbags left and abandoned their cat. They left Milk behind, the little white and gray guy. She got him specifically for her sons. They're the ones who named him Milk. And then there's his carrier, left a bag of food in there. I've been feeding him, but that woman's not going to probably want him as a cat. And yeah, that's pretty fucking pathetic, I'll tell you. But this is the way they left the yard. Yeah, I've got to get all this back in shape. And when I started walking back here, it's actually a lot worse than it looked from my yard. So yeah, here's the before shot. But I'm also going to be going in, and she's finally going to, y'all have seen the repairs I've done on the floors in this house over the years, a couple of different times. We did the big Thanksgiving rush job last year. But yeah, cutting down. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty decent sized little trees. And yeah, so there we go. Yeehaw! Working it on the bayou. But it's a beautiful June day, and we've got a little bit of cloud cover. That's out looking out on the Gulf of Mexico. Those clouds are over the Gulf right there. Well, I've got one tree down, but this one you can see I cut this limb, and it's part of the whole canopy up there that's got to come off. So yeah, it's I basically have to cut the thing down as a clump and then use my hand cutters to hedge trimmers to cut back the vines. It took a while to peel them all off the fence here, but yeah, man, it's not an easy job. And well, I've been about 7 hours on this today. I got the 2 big trees cut there. That one had the mat of vines. That thing weighed about 200 pounds, that mat, once I got it off. But yeah, man, it's worn me out. It took me an hour just to get those vines off the fence. But yeah, I'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, all right, I finished off my strip here. It took about 3.5 hours today to get the rest of that done, and about 5 hours yesterday. So it's a pretty good amount of time to clear out that whole strip. But just look how much yard. This is where the bed actually was running along the fence. But that's how much yard was taken up by those. So that's a good section of the back of the yard here. So yeah, she'll be happy about that. I'll have to come back and chainsaw those down to a stump. And these two, I'm sure she's not going to want to have a stump digger come out here, a stump grinder, because if I get one of those, that's $250 just for the rental, and it's a pain in the ass. So I think we can work with that. Now onto that area. But yeah, it's a good recovery there for your lawn, for your yard, when it's got that much, because that's where I mowed around it, where I could get to with the mower, so you can see exactly how much of it was taken up. So my pile has grown significantly. And man, that thing is dense. I've got those woven in there. What's going on, everyone? As you can see, we are in a house. Actually, we're in the house overlooking the gold station almost over there. My broken down freaking mower, but this is the job now. The woman that owns this house is moving back in, and y'all have seen videos if you've watched the channel on the work I've done on these floors over the years, patching them up and reinforcing them from underneath. But it's gonna need to be painted. We've got at least I've got the 9-foot ceilings. These are right at about 8 foot. And she wants to do some kind of a green color, but I've put supports underneath the floor. That fireplace is not a working fireplace. And I patched this room in here. This is where the bed was, and you can see right here where this floor has been chewed up. This is since I repaired it to them, and they've managed to punch another little hole through the side right where the patchwork's done. But she always just wanted the minimum, just patch it and stain it and cover it up for them. So I got the bathroom. I did this one. This is the job I did for Thanksgiving, where I had to tear all this out, replace all the subfloor, all the supports, jack it up. I'm going to put in a new toilet and vanity. This is the only floor in here I haven't ever really patched for the top. I've just gone underneath, and I take 2x6s or 2x8s and then put them between the joists and jack them up into place. So you can hear all this is all solid floor. The company she was gonna, when they told me she was initially gonna have a floor put in here, and the company was gonna come out from New Orleans, and they said they'll probably have to tear out the floor and replace all of it. And again, there's no subfloor. This is just one layer of wood. Her toddler stepped through the floor right here all the way to the ground when it went out the first time. So I'm telling her, no, all you have to do is put down a layer of Luan, subfloor, and then we can put your floor down over it. So that's, you know, and I'll do it for at least half the price that they were going to do it. And they had a 3-year warranty. I'm like, I live next door. As long as I'm alive, you got a lifetime warranty. And in 18 years down here of work, I've been here for almost 20 years, but all the time I've been down here working, I'll say it again, I've never had a board, a deck piece, a fence, or anything come down in any of these hurricanes that have hit. Not a single thing that I've built has come apart. So, but I built everything to withstand hurricanes. So I screw, just like here, they'd come through and they'll shoot a bunch of wood down on these floors, and as they expand and contract with the moisture here, the nails, those ring shank nails, creep out just like they do on wood fences, and then you've got floor that starts warping or buckling over the years. So whenever I put all my subfloor down, it's all screwed down. I know where the joists are. I attach it to the joists, and then I fill in all the gaps in between so that subfloor above this, that Luan stays down tight. On this one, I'm going to paint the kitchen, but her friend's going to do the cabinets. And she wants me to change this or put a new layer for Mike on this, but I just don't do countertops. Even one this size, you really need 2 people. And if it's not something you always do, like I say all the time, I told her, I said, you know, I'll do anything I can for you. But if it's something I don't do, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I'll do that just to get paid for something and then end up with a shitty job. I have to peel up this old, this is a whatever you call this kind of floor that's vinyl floor that lays down, but it's buckling there. So I'll pull all this up. And she wants to get rid of these big thresholds because they're kind of a trip hazard for her there and in the bathroom, so I'll fix those. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to start today tearing off all this cord around and see if I can salvage any of it. Otherwise, I'm going to need 250 feet of new cord around for all the walls, because that's what holds your floating floor down. There's nothing that attaches. This floor locks on the sides, and then it's free to move around and expand and contract. So you use that cord around is what holds it down. But you can see it's got the nice wide 7-inch old style baseboards on it, and then she's wanting to do all this stuff on the front porch. I'm like, well, this front porch is really in good shape and solid. She's wanting to put the flooring that we're going to use in the house out here. And I said, well, you really can't do that because it's not exterior floor, even though it is waterproof vinyl. But yeah, I got to change that rod part out here because she's going to have somebody come out and rescreen all this, which I just don't like to do. I said, yeah, here, yeah, get your screen right here. But there you see right there, May 1937. And like I said, mine's a little bit older than that, and yeah, has held up through all these storms for 100 years, as has this one. But that's what these old Cypress houses, they're built like these walls. Y'all have seen some of the work I do. They have beams that run through the middle of them, and then instead of just running up and down, they run at 45s and connect in. So it's a nightmare if you're trying to run wiring in any of these old houses, because they have cross beams all through the walls. Nothing's just straight up and down studs on a lot of them. And then the half one that runs through a lot of them. But that is what gives the house the ability to sag and give as these storms come and rock them. And that bit of flexibility keeps them from flying apart when newer houses go down. It's a nice little house, and like I said, she's moving back into it now here in mid-July, so I don't have a lot of time to do this. But all right, well, we'll go from here. And the really heartbreaking part of all this is the little boy who's lost his home. They never came and got him, and she has 4 cats of her own. So even though he's fixed, she does not want him here. So she's asking if I could get him a home from the pet shop that I got all my kittens homes for, and I'm sure someone would take him because he's one that people love, that gray and white with all the white on him. They love those kind of cats. Yeah, but I don't want to let him go because he's become my best friend too. From the first time when he showed up, when they got him, she bought him for their little boys and then abandoned him when they moved. But he'd come in the house and the first thing he would do is climb in the bathtub. Yeah. But all my cats, get along with him fine. Hurricane's out there with him. Come on, little boy. I know they left you behind, and he doesn't like to be in the house. They come in for a little while with them, and then come on.
And then he'd always want to go out. Come on, Milk. The kids named him Milk because he was white, had white in him. You can see while I'm working today. I haven't moved his food's still over here. I haven't had the heart to tear him out of his home. The neighbors over here, they take care of him. I take care of him over there. He comes over and gets his treats. It's just, like I said, it just breaks my heart. She left his carrier. She left his bag of food sitting in there on the washing machine and wiped their ass and fluffed it. Looks like I left him behind. So I swear, I really do hate people. Overall, it's just, I find them disgusting. And I got a pressure wash because it's moldy, and especially the north side here. Your house will be perfectly white everywhere else, but your north side is going to get that mildew that always forms down here. That's why you look for the north. You can find north for the mossy side of the trees. That is not a wives' tale. That's an accurate thing to know when you're in the wilderness. Look for the mossy side of the trees, and that's the north-facing side, and you can get your orientation. Well, I've got my little helper here. There's the hole right up to the part that I fixed. So yeah, I can just go in from the top here and put in a couple of support boards across and cover it up. But I got most of it crumbled off. I was going to try to reuse it, but it was so dirty. I got between pulling the nails out, it's so brittle and old, it's just crumbling. So I'm just going to do new quarter rounder all the way around. Got all my nails taken out. Now I'm stripping down the kitchen. This stuff's real thin, so I just cut it in strips and peel it out. I'm just looking what I'm going to have underneath, but I think that stuff's all going to scrape up, and I'll be able to put my glue on right over this. So again, her friend's doing all the kitchen, so I don't have to deal with that. But and we'll get rid of the refrigerator, so I'll probably pull it and move it on out to the porch and have that space available. So yeehaw. And there's my boy. You coming to say hi too? You coming to help? Yeah, she doesn't want any of these cats around her house with her 4. You don't come in here. What are you doing? He's not a house cat, but Milk's it here, so he's like, all right, let's check it out. Hey, my big pretty boy. Hey, my big pretty boy. Yes. It's been 4 years since he showed up after Hurricane Ida. So, all right, well, back to it. Well, this is the part that sucks on doing these old houses. She's going to have this rescreened. I've got one piece here. You can see where it's just rotted away, disintegrating. All the posts, the supports are all right, so I've already cut it with the Sawzall. And there was one piece, for some reason up here, that faced out there, that is rotted all the way. I finished up. I spent over an hour today just sweeping, cleaning all the windowsills, all the door frames, because I'm going to have to paint this too. I patched my little holes in here. So we're solid now throughout. So I went ahead and ordered it, had it delivered. So my 25 sheets are coming tomorrow, and I will get those laid out. I'm gonna have to. She's gonna want to get rid of the fucking refrigerator. None of these doors are big enough to get it through. I'm gonna have to take off the damn doors to get it out. So that's another pain in the ass. But at least the air conditioning's on. It's nice and cool in here. It's so sad. My little guy comes in here. He's looking through his empty house. He's saying, wonder where everybody went. Yeah, he's wondering where everybody went. Left his house empty. Left him behind. Yeah, ready to go outside and get something to eat? Come on, you want to go outside? I'll feed you something. Yeah, he is just such a sweetheart. Again, I'm being selfish. I should take him up there and see if we can find him a good home for somebody to love him. Yes, because he's such a sweet boy. Yeah, all right. Well, I got in, as you can see. My plywood one came in. So I've got this room done. I've got most of this room done. I've got this room done. I still have to go back through once I have it all in and put in more screws. Oh, it's not showing up, but yeah, I'm just getting it all tacked down where I can put it in and butt it up and have it all squared up. But that was a pretty good day. My back is stiff. Now we're gonna go up and see if we can't go find us a nice, I'm too dingy to a nice tomahawk. Get us a tomahawk for dinner because I got a nice advance on this job to start it off. So even if they're not a half price, we can afford one this week. So, and I can make a couple of days meal out of it. Now I'm going to need it for the next couple of days because I'm too worn out to want to grill once I get done doing this. And I'll fight through it tonight to get it done. But yeah, it'll be a godsend tomorrow night whenever I've been doing this for 2 days. And I'm really feeling it in my knees and my back. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. All right. right, we're back on the floor job. Here's a piece. Hopefully this is a proper cut, measure, take a little off the edge, allow for the closet. This is my trusty board carrier. I use this for my really heavy plywood, but it also works on this thin stuff as far as just making it easier to, you just lift it up, haul it like that, and it's an easy tote around. Here's my little helper. Milk. You know you're right in my way, right? he's unfazed. Alright, let's. I think I have all my nails cleared. Hopefully I won't have to shave this. It should be a fit. Ow! Rake my shin. Butt up right against that over there. That goes in there. All right, now I just put my little corner piece in there. Measure twice, actually measure 4 times and cut once. I check and double check that you don't want to waste a sheet of plywood that costs $30 damn on a bad cut. Next will be to disassemble the refrigerator, get it out of there, and get our kitchen done. And then the last will be the bathroom that I'm waiting. She's gonna, like I said, want to tear this out. We're gonna put in all new toilet, sink, vanity. Like I said, that's the old cast iron, solid ass iron and ceramic tub that's built into this thing. So I don't know. Just that thing weighs probably over 350 pounds from the ones I've handled before. Yeah. Well, I got the oven out. I managed to spin the refrigerator enough to, had just enough to squeeze it through there with the doors open and twist it, but I did have to go through and tear out a lot more. Come on. Kitchen floor than I had planned on. I thought it was in better shape underneath that Formica or whatever that roll-up stuff was. But yeah, I'll still put my loo on over this and we'll be fine. But that's it, the last room here. Well, like I said, we'll get to the bathroom, but yeah, of course, it's going to be a fucking shithole. Well, it's kind of the part of the bullshit when you're doing these old houses. I tore up 2 layers of floor on this, and this is like an old, what they call bagasse, I guess, kind of material. It's a press board. But the problem with this, when I got to this corner and pulled it up, it was full. It was real black mold, very dusty. It's not. A lot of times people confuse black mold with mildew, but whenever it's powdery and puts out spores, then you're talking about black mold, and that's dry and puffs out. So I had to pull all that out, and I'm still going to treat this with bleach before I close it back up. I don't think I need to take out. That's down to the subfloor. But I'm debating if I want to pull out all of this stuff. The problem is, you can see how I'm shipping it out here. This stuff is just nailed to hell, and they've held over the years. So I get my pry bar here, hit it underneath, and I've already cut my seam here to try to salvage a little bit of it here where it goes into that line for the ice maker, which is dead. I'm going to probably pull that anyway because no water's coming out of it. But yeah, so I can get up to this edge, and then I'll keep this with the rest of the floor, cut this out here, and then put in my sheets to get it up to level to put my loo on over all this. But I've been here all day doing this fucking kitchen. When I did that whole room, that bedroom, and that bedroom in there all in one day. And I say, I'll just finish up the kitchen today. I got the appliances out, no big deal. And yeah, it never goes as planned somewhere along the line when you're doing these old faded houses. So in all reality, I could legitimately go in and cut that whole corner out over there because it's kind of spongy and it already has the mold. But for the amount of work and what it takes, I don't think it really warrants it. I'm going to treat it with bleach. And it's all contained right in that corner where this is leaked around the refrigerator or whatever over the years and gotten underneath it. So, yeah. Well, it turns out it's a moot point. Once I got the stuff up, just a couple of hits with the hammer and it punched through that. So, You can see where it was worn off the top there. Once I got it all vacuumed up and cleaned off, you can see how bad it was. So yeah, 2 whacks of a hammer. You got a hole. Goes down to the ground. So I got to, looks like I'm going to have to stretch over to a beam and get out of there. And just maybe just cut a hole big enough here that I can climb down underneath. Because it's tough to get to this spot because of the pipes underneath the house from the outside. But yeah, so I'll continue this tomorrow. Get some material. Yeehaw! All right, I've got my hole cut up underneath. Actually, I got a beam right on each side, so I don't have to actually put any support here. I just, like I said, I've got this edge here with the beam for my nailer, and I can put these down, then I'll cover my floor, and we'll be good. I just cut all that out instead of trying to treat the black mold, and I'm still going to hit it with the bleach solution before I cover it up, just because that is the bottom part of the layer. But I said it's not going to matter. So yeah, get that up, and I can get the rest of the floor down in here, look like the rest, and then get started painting. But yeah, man, this kitchen's turned out to be a fucking nightmare. Well, I have got all my subfloor in, a million damn screws holding it all down. I have 30 boxes of flooring that are about to be delivered, and I've started doing all my prep work for the paint job. So it's going to be all green with green trim, green doors, green walls. So yeah, I'm still, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but that's what they want. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, I've got a lot of nasty walls to clean, and that's what I'm doing right now is wiping down all the stains and spills all over the walls from the kids, drawing on the walls. So yeah, it's going to be a tough paint job on this one, but got to get rolling. So here we go. Well, I'm in my kitchen now, finishing up. I got to do the green on the walls in here, but you can see this room is done. The paint and the trim, she wanted the same color, even though it's semi-gloss with the trim. There's no contrast. It's just so army green, gray green. And then you can see the guys came in and put down. They did a great job on the floor, but it's that fake wood laminate trash floor that she ended up with in here. But here's my last room. I got to finish the white around these windows, the doors. Waiting for the new toilet and vanity to come in. I got to paint all this basically tan, and then finish up a couple of windows in this room. But yeah, man, this is some of the hardest damn paint to paint, just because it just blends in. So I mean, it is the worst color I have ever painted in decades of painting houses, interior and exterior. And she kept trying to get me to say I liked it. I told her, I said, it's ghastly. I don't know, how can you live in this? But I'm gonna paint what you want. But I was trying to talk her into trim colors, accent colors, something different for the doors, anything. And again, you can just see where there goes from satin to semi-gloss, and there's just absolutely no variation in tone or color or anything. So yeah, it's been a very depressing paint job. I'm ready to get out of here. And she's about to be moving in. So, see, there's my house right there. It's close. But, all right, well, the guys, they told me that my floor replacement that I got to get this, the only way that they got this floor to go down like this was because I did such a good job on the subfloor on my part of it. And there was a couple of spots they added some filler to get it level to go into the kitchen there. But, yeah, tearing out that extra layer of the floor of the kitchen made it possible for them to do that, even though I got a pretty nasty dose of fucking black mold over in that corner. It's looking really good. So, all right, that's just about it. It has not been fun. I just spent the last 5 hours this morning doing one of the things I hate the worst, which is cleaning. I had to scrub down by hand all these cabinets, countertops, clean the drawers. This one was full of damn glitter and trash inside of it. But yeah, I scrubbed them all down inside and out. Before the girl moved in, I spent days pulling out these cabinets, these doors, and doing the custom painting all the handles because they weren't the style and the color that she wanted. And I just like, we're not gonna do anything with this. There's no reason. So would have been done by now anyway. She's moving in tomorrow. Cleaned up good. I think she'll be happy. She doesn't even know I did this, but I couldn't have her moving in here with all the stuff that she's going to be bringing in and having to deal with the kitchen first thing. So all my paint jobs done. Like I said, there's no contrast at all. It was one of the hardest damn paint jobs I've ever done. Benjamin Moore, some of the crappiest paint I've used. I had to use 3 coats on a lot of this stuff. It would just bleed through. So that's why I use Sherwin-Williams specifically. Again, though, there's just no contrast, but I still got to do the light in here. But I got my toilet in. I'm still waiting for the vanity. And yeah, the tan, all the tan was done. The doors on the outside of the green and on the inside are tan. And then my last room here, which is gonna be like a storage activity room or something, but there we go. And again, as I'm standing here in front of the sink on this wood laminate floor, and again, this is why we don't install this. You can see right there, that's what it's made up of, is pressed fake wood mixed in with the paper. Some wood particles mixed in with the paper. Yeah, as you're standing here in front of the sink, the water will continue to get into these seams. You don't put this stuff in bathrooms or kitchens specifically for that reason. You put a mat down there, what happens? Water gets under the mat, moisture gets in between the floor, and you get the mold growing, you get the rot. So, and then that stuff starts bulging up and expanding. I've seen it where it bloomed and it would fill out, and the edges of it would be that wide from animals pissing and getting between the cracks of the joints, and then it would blow up, and yeah, just horrible shit. But that's what they ended up with. So makes for a nice floor, but like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but first thing whenever I put my little stool down here that I used to step up, this little step stool, and went to step on it, it was like glass on ice. Shoom, it just shot out from underneath me. So again, this is a very slick floor, not something I recommend for people who are in their late 70s, but still waiting for the refrigerator. Said it was coming at 6 o'clock this morning. I was telling them nobody delivers anything at 6 in the morning. Oh, between 6 in the morning and 6 at night. What kind of bullshit is that? Until I get my vanity in, this will wrap it up. Also, yesterday I pressure washed the whole outside of the house. That took almost a half a day because this hasn't been pressure washed in years. It's covered with green on your north side. But it looks like it was painted because it's nice and white now, so it's all good for her to move in. So I'll get a shot once the vanity's in, and that'll be the final thing for this for the time being. So thanks for watching. It's been a long one. Well, the vanity came in, and this is what it is. This weird piece of shit where the sink mounts on top of this, the top slate, and then this is a porcelain sink. And I get it open. Looks okay until I pull up the other thing. You can see right there. That's the whatever it's made of. It's broken. So yeah, that's why you don't order this shit through Amazon when you're installing fixtures in your house, because even when I get this stuff and open it up at the store, half the time it's broken like that. But I can just take it back and swap it out. This has to be repacked up, carried up to the, just bullshit. Don't order stuff like this. So that's why I was over here today, because I knew it was going to be, it's in tons of pieces to put it together, and pointless.
As you saw there, phase 1 is officially complete, and I will be doing a number of other things over there, but once she moves in, and in the yard as well. But the tough stuff and the main stuff is done, so we will be back next week, I'm pretty sure, with a bag of RJs, because we haven't done any of that in a little while, and that's some really fun stuff. So till the next time, thank y'all once again for watching. A little shot here of Gizmo playing with his little sister, and thank y'all for supporting the channel. I hope you found this somewhat enjoyable. I know it wasn't gold, but we'll be back with the gold. And until the next time, take care of each other and peace out, my friends.